Boom goes the dynamite. There's my beautiful baby. Hi, my beautiful baby. Boo Bear. Hey, show dog. Hey, show dog. What you doing? We're laying down by the river, show dog. Okay. Let's see. A Life of Brian. I love that answer. I love that movie. I saw that movie in the theater when it first came out. And when I went to see it, there was protesters, like a picket line out front with like protest signs talking about how offensive the movie was because it was a parody of Christ's life. Love that movie. If you have not seen it, you're missing out. Life of Brian. I don't know that they can make a sequel without Graham Chapman. It doesn't generally stop them from making sequels. Have you seen the extras on that movie? Wilco, I love sheep. It's very interesting. All right. So, hi everybody. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News, and this is your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie, and it's time for us to do our Wake and Bake thing. Who's ready for a bong hit? This guy. All right. So everyone, follow me and do exactly as you see. Okay, so tomorrow on our big show tomorrow night, we're hoping to give away $10,000 to every single person who comments in the comment section. None of this petty little, oh, here's your $1,200 check. We're going to give away life-changing money. That's right, if we can. We're going to try and give away life-changing money tomorrow night. $10,000 to everyone who comments in the comment section if all the qualifications are met. We will be giving each and every person who comments in the comment section tomorrow night on our live chat. On the live chat. Anyone who comments on the live chat tomorrow night hopefully gets $10,000. That's what we're going to try and do. We'll find out. Let's see. But tonight, we're talking about what movie you would most like to see a sequel of. Now, the reason that we're talking about that tonight, as opposed to Biden or COVID or whatever, and those subjects will come up. But the reason that we're talking, I titled the video this way this evening, is in hopes of maybe finding some new phone callers, or because it'd be nice to get. The show is about people calling, and I'd really like to have a very active call-in show. I really, really would. You lucky, lucky bastard! Alright, well, we're not getting a big old puff of smoke out of that, are we? Oh well. But there's the Boo Bear. That's what really matters. That's what really matters, in case you guys don't know. Okay. Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick's not around anymore, so that's going to be a tough one, too. Who are you going to have direct, a sequel to Clockwork Orange? That's going to be a tough one. What did we watch? We watched, was it Stanley Kubrick that we watched last night? It wasn't Stanley Kubrick. Who was that? It was Martin Scorsese. Watched a Martin Scorsese film last night called Mad Dog and Glory. Have you seen that one? Robert De Niro, Bill Murray. Bill Murray plays a Chicago gangster. Have you seen that movie? Got Uma Thurman boobies in it. Uma Thurman's boobies. That was nice. Probably my favorite part of the movie. Although I kept saying, just let me have one look at her ass. And they wouldn't do it. And I was extremely disappointed by that. But, you know, a guy has got to have priorities, right? Let's see. But that is not the movie I would most like to see a sequel of. Try again. I agree with that, sir. Let's see. Kush time. The Matrix. Who said that? Somebody block that person that just said The Matrix. The Matrix. Isn't there like 7 sequels to The Matrix already? Kush Time, is that a movie? I haven't seen that one, Kush Time. I have to go look it up on the IMDb with the DDD and the da. Okay, yeah, sequel to the Dab. That's a good plan. We need to see a sequel to that Dab. There is no doubt about that. Good call, Daniel. Okay, let's see. So you guys ready for me to tell you what I'm going to wait for a phone caller. Because I want some phone callers. This is a call-in show. The number's right there on the screen. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you guys. You don't want to talk about politics, or do you? You don't want to talk about, I don't know. I'm just trying to have a conversation. So, because, the YouTube, because the powers that be, the last thing that they want is us having a conversation, regardless of what it's about. They want us triggered. They want us afraid. They want us angry. So that when we do go to talk to each other, it's in very hostile ways. It's venting. I'm going to watch me bitch smack this dumbass's world, I don't really do that. I'm not trying to prove anything, but I would love to have a conversation. And we're keeping our eyes on Portland and Seattle to make sure that there's no more anti-Joe Biden protests again tonight. It's so funny, I played the videos from last night from Seattle. There was an anti-Joe Biden protest in Seattle. There's also anti-Joe Biden protest in Portland last night. And I played the Seattle protest on the show last night, and like there's all this reaction. It's like, those are not Donald Trump supporters, like the only people that could be against, there's my boo, the only people that could be against Biden are Donald Trump supporters, and this is what I keep saying, is that we can do better, and the people on the left are not Biden supporters. The real people on the left, they're not Biden supporters any more than the real people on the right are Mitch McConnell supporters, I mean, the real people are looking for someone real, not, not some douchebag that's trying to say the right thing. We're done with words. We need action, right? That's the way I see it. Let's see. Sequel to the bong hit. Good plan. Operators are busy. Are the phones working? Okay. Operators aren't busy unless the phone's off the hook. Craig says the phones are working. I'm your Huckleberry. I don't know that movie. What movie is that? I'm waiting for a phone caller, and I will tell you. I will tell you my movie that I'd most like to see as a sequel. I will let you know what it is when I get a phone caller. So if you want to know, time is now to call. I'm looking for a bong hit here. We need to do a sequel to that bong hit. It was a little bit on the weak side. Hold on. I'm working on it. Hold on. Almost ready. Almost ready. Hold on. Do what now? Okay. Let's see. I'm not gonna tell you what movie I most want to see a sequel of that I haven't seen, that hasn't been made yet. I'm not gonna tell you until I get a phone caller. Because I want to hear you guys' stuff. I want to hear from you. That's why we're doing a silly question like this. You guys can talk about a silly question. It doesn't have to be something like you're putting yourself on the line to let everybody know how you feel politically. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mox, I've been wanting to talk about movies, man. This is a great idea. Man, there's so much to talk about. Are we going to have spoiler discussions?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I guess the big one currently culturally right now is the fucking Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, Craig watched that. I didn't. I saw a little bit of it. I can't stand that Baby Yoda, man. I just would stomp it to death if it wasn't around me. I can't stand that fucking thing.
I thought it was really good. I thought they tried to save Star Wars.
Craig really liked it too. Craig thought it was really good also.
I think it would. I'd be happy if it ended on season 2. I don't want to see any more. I think it was like a complete story for the first 2 seasons. It's like it's the Mandalorian, the seedy top bounty hunter in the galaxy, fucking, finding this little fucking Baby Yoda, and carrying it through like the Baby New Year for Star Wars, Star Wars Reborn, and he brings it back into the hands of Luke, and that's like, yeah, and that's, that's the Mandalorian, he saved Star Wars. Just this dude existing in that world, they mentioned Gungans, they're not afraid of the past, they just totally embrace full George Lucas Star Wars, which is what we were always wanting, man.
Right.
Those other sequels sucked so bad.
I like the first 3 movies. I don't like Ewoks. There's a lot of things that are really hard to handle, but I like the first 3 movies because you get to see the evolution of this kid into a hero, and I like that a lot, that they take the time to actually show him grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty good. They also had the Clone Wars TV show. That show was pretty awesome, but the first season just sucked so bad. It's just hard to recommend. But if you can get past the first season, it's a really good, some of the best Star Wars shit around.
Is that a cartoon? That's a cartoon, right?
Yeah. The Clone Wars. It's one of those 3D animated cartoons.
Yeah.
It was like literally the last thing George Lucas did.
Huh.
For Star Wars. So it's pretty cool. But man, that first season sucked. Well. They were getting the hang of this cartoon TV show thing.
I think you really got to know what you're doing when it comes to putting together a cartoon.
Yeah. The other thing is like, God, man, I saw Wonder Woman 84.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, don't even worry about spoilers, right?
Yeah.
The movie's garbage, but it's particularly Chinese propaganda. There's a big problem with that. Well, you'll see it in a lot of the DC movies, like in Shazam, and there's the one character, like they always put the Hollywood, they sold it to China now, and China always makes it so that there's at least one Chinese person, and they're absolutely pivotal to the story. And, they had Shazam, they had the Chinese woman, they had the translations to get the God Shazam, and all this other stuff to set the whole movie in motion. And Wonder Woman 84. I think, by the way, I think that DC characters are really on the weak side. They don't seem to have much character at all.
It's just I've never liked the DC universe, especially. I don't especially like the Marvel universe, but their characters have a lot more flavor to them than the DC people. The people like Superman and Batman. They're just too fucking straight edge, man.
Well, like, I've been trying to catch up on the Marvel Universe stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I just got through Age of Ultron, and I don't know how that franchise survived that movie. That was like the worst fucking movie I ever saw.
People are desperate for like sci-fi. There is very little sci-fi, and they love it. They love that. I want to get lost in the future genre, of a better tomorrow, and blah blah blah. There's so many reasons they want that, and it's there's so little of it, and then even less that's like worthy of your time to watch. So they're just like desperate for anything. You go pitch a sci-fi thing to Netflix, and if you got half a clue, it's a done deal.
Yeah, I mean, like, so much of our old sci-fi, our old series are just being destroyed. Like, Star Wars was just in the ditch. Like, fucking Terminator's destroyed.
You remember the
Ghostbusters,
TV series Farscape? Did you ever watch that?
I watched parts of it. I can't remember if I watched the whole thing.
Yeah. I kind of like that show.
Well,
I like that the ships were like living creatures. I like that a lot.
There was a few good sci-fi shows. You ever watch Babylon 5? Oh my god, I love that one.
I know of it. I can't say if I watched it a whole lot or not.
Oh man, that was great, dude. Political intrigue, war, man, fucking cool, likable characters. It's also a show where the first season kind of sucked. But once you get past the first season, it's just like great from there. But it's one of those continuous shows where you got to watch the whole thing.
And that's one of those things about sequels too. Is like almost all of them just suck balls, and the only reason that they're making a sequel of it is not because they think it's the greatest story and they can't wait to continue it. It's because this first movie made money, and now they know that the second one will make money because they have a built-in audience. That's pretty much the reason they make sequels. So, which is really unfortunate. It'd be nice just to, like the movie that I most want to see a sequel of is The Professional. With Natalie Portman. You know that movie?
Yeah. The assassin movie.
Yeah, I love that movie, and I can't believe that they never made a sequel of it. And I would love to see Natalie Portman training, the next generation of up-and-coming assassins. I just think that would be such a cool movie. How could they not have made that fucking movie? What the hell, man?
Wasn't that made by, I forget his name, was it Jean-Luc? He do the Amelie and the...
It was made by...
Children or whatever.
What was that?
Like the director of that movie. Was it Jean-Luc? He did like Aliens 4, I think, and... was that him, or is that a different one?
I think he did. I think he's the guy who did... just a sec. I'll check. I think he's the guy who did Fifth Element.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was fucking great, dude. I loved heavy metal, dude. I fucking loved heavy metal. And that was a heavy metal movie, like the heavy metal cartoon magazine.
Yeah.
Just seeing that, like, come to life was like a fucking, like a shock, I mean, there were so many good things back in the day, like, I think we were just so spoiled. I remember telling all my friends that Predator 2 sucked because it wasn't as good as the original. But, like, compared to what they make now, man, have you seen the fucking new Predator movie? Wow.
No, I haven't seen the new Predator movie. But I was thinking that, too. There's another movie I'd love to see a sequel of, which is Roger Rabbit. I'd love to see a sequel of Roger Rabbit, because I think with the technology that they have now with animation, that they could make Toontown so fucking interesting, It'd be like, oh, yeah, this is going to be a never-ending series. But, people don't have vision. I don't know. Yeah, he made a whole bunch of movies, man. The director, his name's Luke Benson, and he made I thought he made Fifth Element. I'm pretty sure he made Fifth Element, and just a whole fuckload of other movies. Like he made the Transporter movies. You know those movies, Transporter?
Oh yeah. I forget the action dude. whatever.
Statham. Jason
Yeah.
Statham.
Yeah. That one. Yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, he
Yeah,
does
he made
good
he
action.
made Fifth Element also. He's a pretty darn good director.
Yeah, that Fifth Element thing, that's a legendary movie. You know, I mean, that's like one of those things where it's like, it's almost like its own equivalent to Star Wars.
You can just put it
I think,
on
it just
anytime.
captured the imagination so well.
We watch it on Christmas. It's just the movie comes together so fucking well too, and it's just got like all these rock stars and supermodels in it, So it has a really fucking stylized look to it, and and fucking Mila Jovovich as the supreme being is mouth watering, So
Yeah. Like, man, one of the good things I saw recently that was fucking, blew my mind, was, they had the return of Twin Peaks.
yeah, we watched that. I watched that
Like,
series. Craig watched it also.
You watched? You
Yeah.
watched that the return to? I think was it episode 5 or whatever, the one with fucking the dude from Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails, doing the song. Dude, and they go up and they got the bum. He's like, gotta wait.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite fucking thing I have seen, like media wise, in years. That was like one of my. I love that fucking show.
It was very different. I love. There's an actress in it, Jennifer Jason Leigh. I don't know if you know who that is, but she's made a lot of movies. She's a child actress, from the time she was like 13, 12, something like that, and. And she's the daughter of really famous actor and actress also, but Jennifer Jason Leigh, she was in that. She was one of the assassins in the remake of Twin Peaks, the sequel to it.
Yeah. So,
she was great,
and I know you like.
And the Hateful Eight too. Hateful Eight is what's Kill Bill? What's that director's name?
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino. He made the Hateful Eight, and I loved Jennifer Jason Leigh in that movie. She was fucking amazing in that movie. Go ahead.
Yeah, I remember like fucking seeing like Pulp Fiction for the first time. Like I didn't see Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
But I was watching TV one day and I saw an awesome ad for this movie called Pulp Fiction.
Oh, really? I remember when I saw Pulp Fiction. I had never seen a single thing about the movie. I hadn't seen it advertised anywhere on TV. I hadn't seen it anywhere. I just heard people talking and saying, you gotta see this movie. So we went to go see it, and fucking mind-blowing, dude. Like, the best screenplay ever. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was fucking... I still remember clearly, like, it was the same day, I think it was like fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, like, 6. It was the one where Wes Craven returned, to come back.
Yeah.
It opened on the same week, because I saw it, like, on the Friday it opened up.
Huh.
And I had a choice. I could either go see fucking Nightmare on Elm Street 5, or 6, or whatever the fuck it was, and, like, or I could see this Pulp Fiction movie. And I've been watching these fucking Nightmare on Elm Street movies, dude. I was able to go see, like as a child, just walking up to buy a ticket. It used to not be, like, illegal to see R-rated movies. It was just kind of like a suggestion.
Yeah. Right.
So I was able as a kid to just go to these, like, Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And those movies were made for kids. Let's be honest. And especially after the first one. It's just movies made for kids. But anyway, I decided, nah, screw that. I saw Pulp Fiction. It was just blown away.
Oh, man. When I saw that, I was just like, from start to finish, it's just like jaw dropping at every scene to the next scene to the next scene. You're just like, holy fuck. It's great.
Yeah, and that Dick Dale fucking surf rock fucking soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, it's great soundtrack.
I saw him live a few times before he
Right
died.
on. That's awesome, dude. Where'd you see him at?
Fucking saw him at actually a few venues. He was fucking touring all around. I saw him in fucking the Southeast. I saw him in Georgia and in Florida.
Yeah, he was an amazing artist for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, technically, like... I mean, it's a different tune and everything, but, a lot of the black metal artists, fucking, all respect him. You know, I mean, they're basically playing the same way. You know, like
If you're a musician, yeah, if you're a musician and you don't respect him, I mean, what's the point? I don't even want to hear. I don't even want to hear your music. You know, the guy is fucking amazing. You know, unique, amazing.
Yeah, like what was I gonna bring up? Oh yeah, like V for Vendetta. I know is like a favorite of yours and shit. I had both the books. I liked Watchmen better, you know. I just think that was a just wow fucking story, you know. Just
It's a
the
real.
way that put together.
I really like the way that movie comes together, and I think it portrays our current state. It's like a foretelling. It's like this is what's coming, and here we are. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like one of the things they cut out was the aliens. You know, they were fucking doing the in the comics. You know, it wasn't a nuclear explosion blamed on fucking Dr. Manhattan. What it was they cloned these alien beings, these octopuses and shit, and then they fucking teleported them into the city.
Huh.
And it was like a false flag. And that was his fucking way of bringing the world together and bring world peace, you know. And he had the famous little scene where he's like, you know, that's all that matters in the end. And then Dr. Manhattan says, in the end, nothing ever ends. You know, it's like it just keeps going, you know, just like where we are now, you know. Some people think it's the end, but it hasn't ended, you know. We're seeing new things, you know. I still think we're going to get an alien false flag too. You know, I think we're going to get the Project Blue Beam. You know,
there is nothing they want more than to go to war with the space aliens, man.
Well, I mean, like they just want to use that for world power. You know, when they all like, okay, you know, go full globo homo and just fucking make everybody the same, just people from Earth. One government, you know, you probably won't have any say or vote, you know, they'll have everything, you know. That's
we have to unite to defeat the common enemy, bro.
Yeah, that's the false flag, you know. They're not really there. And,
I'm telling you, Saddam has aluminum tubes, man. Get with the program, dude.
Well, you know, I mean, we'll see, you know, we got but I think that book was an excellent prediction of what they would want to do. You know, it's a great plan. You know, I mean, the dude, Alan Moore, he writes good shit. You know, I mean, all his movies get kind of butchered. I will say the movie, if you didn't read the book, I think Zack Snyder has a violence fetish. And he kind of couldn't hold back on that. He made everything look all cool and like extra bloody. He's like cutting off arms and shit, but it didn't happen. One of the things I liked about the book was that it was like, what's it like to be a real superhero? You know, you're like a fucking homeless schizo of if you're Batman, and like all the fights are like bum fights. And that was one thing that he didn't do in the movie that I thought would have been cool. Was just, you know, it was like real gritty, just bum fight-ish superhero action. They made a sequel to that, both in the comics and in HBO. I didn't watch the HBO one, but God, you know, it was pretty bad. You know, it had a thing where they turned Rorschach into a white supremacist, and they made his cult a group of white supremacists.
Huh.
And, you know, like in the first episode or something like that, like the black hero chick was like saying, she said, "Oh, I smell bleach." You know, just like from, what's that guy's name? That fucking TV show, fucking fake hate crime guy?
I don't know.
Porn on him?
I don't know.
Oh, dude, Kamala and all them fucking...
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't remember that dude, the celebrity that...
I don't know.
You know, had a noose on his neck?
Yeah, I don't know. I know who you're talking about. I don't know. He wasn't really a celebrity. He's somebody nobody ever heard of who was desperate for attention. That's who he was. Well,
yeah, you're right about that, Max. Like, yeah, oh man, speaking of actors, with the Star Wars Mandalorian, they brought back Ahsoka Tano, who was like the character in the Clone Wars cartoon. She was this chick. It was Anakin Skywalker's apprentice. And, it was pretty cool, because, like, first off, it started off as real kitty crap. But then after a while, the show realized, oh, this is the apprentice of basically Darth Vader. So she's, like, supposed to be, like, this good little Jedi girl, but she's, like, force choking people in the end, and, like, really showing signs of the dark side, she was in The Mandalorian, too. And, they had it so... They got the best actor they could. She just came off the role of a lifetime. It was Rosario Dawson, whose last role was she played the girlfriend of Cory Booker.
I like Rosario Dawson.
Cory Booker isn't.
I like Rosario. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And everybody really believes it.
Cory Booker's not gay. Look, he's got a hot girlfriend. No, I like Rosario Dawson, and
I thought it was good casting.
When Bernie was running in 2016 or 2012, 2016, she was backing Bernie, and she was making speeches at Bernie rallies and introducing Bernie, and but I like her. I like what is that movie called where with all the chicks? It's another Bruce Willis movie where Spawn. It's like the movie is Spawn. It's not Spawn though. What is that movie called? Fuck. Oh man, it's about a pedophile, and Bruce Willis is a cop, and he locks him up. He goes to jail for the guy's crimes after he cuts the guy's dick off and stuff. And it's got Jessica Alba.
With the orange man and Jessica Alba. Sin City.
Sin City. See, Rosario Dawson's in that. I like her in that. I loved all the girls in that movie. All the girls in that movie were great. Miho, that girl that played Miho. Every time I hear that name, man, it's like my knees go weak. Miho. I'm just like, I must have you. She was so deadly in that movie.
That was a good movie. Unfortunately, the sequel was not good. But,
yeah.
What can you do with that? Rosario Dawson. I think I first saw her was in the movie Kids.
I'm not sure.
The guy that did that Gummo movie.
I'm not sure which one that is.
The Kids was the one where they're I think I could barely remember seeing it now. But it's the movie about the kids, teenagers, raping each other and stuff like that. There's a rape in there, and I think that was its big controversy of the day. It's made by that one guy. He does good movies. He did Gummo. If you haven't seen Gummo,
Gummo's the one where they are killing cats and stuff, right?
Yeah, it was the weird demented kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy does demented stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, hey, we got another caller. I'm gonna let you go, and that's just something else you want to say real quick.
No, my favorite movie is Brazil.
What is it?
Brazil by Terry Gilliam.
Oh well, Brazil is Terry Gilliam. I love Terry Gilliam. His again, we were talking about Life of Brian at the beginning of the show. Terry Gilliam is one of the Monty Python players. He gets credit for all of the Monty Python animations in basically all of the movies and in the entire TV series. So Terry Gilliam is brilliant. And he did.
Zero Theorem was really good too. That was a newer one, and it's it's kind of like a sequel to Brazil, almost like dystopian style future.
I thought he did a really good job of Fear and Loathing. I thought that was excellent. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, all right. I'll let you go. Let the next guy speak.
All right, bro. Thanks a lot for calling. It's good to hear from you.
Right.
Okay, so let's see, and again, this is a call-in show. We'd want to hear about your opinions. This again, and that's why we're doing this title tonight, because I want to hear. I'm wanting to see if maybe we're not doing politics, although we're going to do some politics here in a minute. If we're not doing politics, the discussion doesn't center around politics. Maybe we'll get some more phone callers, but so far, that's not what's happening. So let me play a video for you. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Hello, caller.
Hello, breaking the flaw here. How you doing?
Hey, Flaw, BF, is that right?
Yes. Yes.
BF. All right, BF. What's going on, bro?
I just wanted to put my 2 cents in what sequel I'd like to see,
Oh,
and that would be Matrix 4. I know it's coming out, but I'm just excited to see it. So, I mean,
what?
I'm really excited to see it.
What is it?
Just Matrix 4?
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't know
Yeah.
there was a new Matrix movie coming out. Is Keanu Reeves going to be in that?
I sure hope so. I think it's all, yeah, same cast. I
Huh.
don't think they're going to break that.
Right on. I like the idea behind Matrix and everything, but I didn't enjoy the movies that much. But I really like
Really?
the underlying idea behind it. Yeah,
I
something.
like the influence it brought out, right? So it influenced a lot of people, specifically the first movie. But I like the second movie probably better than the first. But
Yeah, well, and it brought this red blue pill discussion into the kind of
sure.
continue, into like every mainstream kind of thing, which is a good thing.
And what really got me excited about all this, like hands down, this is the main reason why I got excited. Rage Against the Machine got back together just for the Matrix 4 movie.
Huh? Wow, that's really cool. Those guys. What's that? What's the guitarist's name? Tom. I think. What's
It's
his
been a
name?
while.
Craig. What's his name? The Rage Against the Machine guitarist. Tom Morello. Um, he is fucking a genius, gifted.
Well, I don't know what you think a Matrix 4 would be like, but I really hope it narrates a lot of stuff that's happening. I mean, obviously they would be doing something to make it related and all that jazz, but I hope it really hits a target um, influence like it had in the past, that it just makes everyone think a little bit harder about their choices. And just like the red pill, blue pill, same difference. I think when we are presented the choices in these movies, it make you think. But I think they also could be writing the narrative of the future by doing this. So I think it's almost a responsibility of themselves to produce a piece that's, I don't know, generated toward a free society versus like, an authoritarian computer takeover,
Sure, I agree. I think there, like you said, almost a responsibility, like with Orwell's, Animal Farm or whatever. It's like he had to write that because it was like he saw this vision that was incredibly disturbing, and had to make sure that everyone else could see what was coming too. And he felt that it's not like he wanted to write it. It's like I don't
Mhm.
have a choice. People need to hear these things.
I think the pigs got slaughtered at the end of Animal Farm.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So maybe they'll do a spin on that.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just really excited about it, and I hope it comes out sooner than later. I heard they're also going to be creating this Silmarillion from the Middle Earth series, and that'll be interesting.
We watched over the weekend. We watched Kill Bill 1 and 2, and they're supposed to. It says on the Google that their Kill Bill 3 is in development right now. So I would actually
Huh.
like to see that
Well,
very much too.
I did always find it weird. There's only 2 parts, and then there was a lot of unanswered questions and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think there's a whole lot left to talk about there. I want to see. I want to see a blind Daryl Hannah in that movie, being like just a ruthless killer, man. I'm really
Oh
looking forward
man.
to that.
And I'd like to see some of these older movies to come back, almost like those, like we don't have those blockbuster movies anymore. And I want to see, and I don't
They,
know if it ruins it, the old movie, like the first part, or but I like to see some of them come back. I don't know. Have you not noticed that? I don't know about you, but Netflix be kind of boring, and they don't really produce these high action flicks and stuff like that. We don't have it anymore. You'd be very
uh,
lucky to see it.
it's I think I think there's a lot of action. I think the thing is, I think that people maybe are getting tired of fucking guns. Is what it is. Like I almost can't watch movies with guns in them anymore. Almost everything I watch now is ancient China, because there's no guns. Because the thing is you if there's no guns, right? There's like this magic to where everybody's on the same fucking level. But if there's guns, a fucking 6-year-old can take your head off. So it kind of ruins
I
everything.
don't know about that. I think we have a philosophical difference on that. I think guns are mostly used to save people. I don't like how cops use them, and obviously burglars and those aggressive sort of things. But I think, and I don't mean to get all political on this, but I think guns kind of help.
I'm not against
deter
guns.
crime.
I'm not against guns. I'm a big pro Second Amendment. The house I grew up in had at least 300 guns in it, and the majority of them were loaded. Okay, so I'm not against guns. I understand guns very well. I'm very well trained. But I don't. The movies, right? There's like this thing where it's like, if you look at every movie cover, it's like 75% of them have somebody holding a gun on the front of it, and I just don't find that.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like that's
like be more creative, sort of.
Well, it's like it's there's just something. It's like I don't want to be attracted to that. I don't. It's like, oh look, he's got a gun. We got to watch this movie. Fuck that. Because that's why they're putting the guns on the cover, because they know that works to draw an audience, and I just don't want to be sucked in by that kind of bullshit.
Well, one thing the Matrix got I know they took care of is make sure all the shots were accurate, right? Like you watch some movies or shows, and like they'll have a 12-round clip and one in the chamber, and they shoot 30 rounds.
Yeah, I hear you. I think that all the time. I'm thinking, how many fucking bullets does this gun have? But again, I'm very trained, so I understand. You have to reload once in a while.
Yeah, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, New Hampshire, and there's guns all around.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I don't have a problem with guns. People owning guns. I don't see right now. If I had a child, I couldn't imagine, or a family, I couldn't imagine not owning a gun. I just could not imagine.
I wonder, like, what was crazy is the other day I was live streaming in Concord, New Hampshire, the capital, right, when all the Capitol protests were supposed to happen, and it was just like a couple book boys with their Hawaiian shirts, and it was ridiculous. And they were open carrying, strapped their pistol. Some people say the long guns, but they were qualified pistols. But I was live streaming it, and YouTube pulled my stream twice by showing off firearms. I was like, get out of here. I'm glad it wasn't a strike on my channel, but
that's so strange, because they'll show the guns if they're being used as like entertainment, like a movie or something, and this is again what I don't like about these movies is these people just shoot people, in the head like it's no big deal, and I mean, I'm telling you, it's a much bigger deal than that, and I don't care how fucking cold you are, it's not the way it works.
I think when it comes to like cops and stuff like that, they're poorly trained, and I don't think a lot of them have their skills toned for shooting a gun. There is a lot of cops that go to the range consistently, but I don't think they go enough to keep. I don't think cops would ever be able to take on like the public. The military, yes, because they practice consistently. Where the police, they're supposed to, but I don't think they're going to get there. But anyways.
Yeah, I know. I think at least 25% of police's weekly hours, they shouldn't be allowed to work more than 40 hours. That should be the law. You are not allowed to work more than 40 hours. And that includes moonlighting. And, and we'll pay you properly. But 25% of that time should be training. Whether it be hand to hand, a lot of it should, and the majority of it should be hand to hand. That way, when you are confronted with the situation, your first fucking thought isn't to grab your gun because I just shit my pants and I'm fucking afraid of what's going to happen next.
No, I'm gonna grab my whip like Indiana Jones, and that's another movie I like to see soon. Oh my god, I can't wait for the new one.
Really? Is there?
I
Oh,
know
I heard there was a
they're-
new coming out. I heard there's a new one coming out.
Yeah, they're filming it right now, and also similarly, the Laura Croft series has gotten pretty good. I don't know if you saw the most recent one.
They have a new. They have a
pretty
new.
decent.
They have a new girl playing Laura Croft, right? It's not.
Yeah, I think she was excellent.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's her and not whatever her name is, Angelina Boringly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like her. I don't think she's very attractive, and it's just like it's kind of boring in that sense.
She's really bony. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, Council on Foreign Relations and work in UN. You better believe she's a sellout.
Yeah. Right on. Well, it's good to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there anything else that you wanted to share with us?
Hey, I only need 20 more subs to 14,000 if you guys want to hit me up. Breaking the flaw.
You can do it.
All right, man. I appreciate the call, or I appreciate calling in.
All right, call back anytime. Thanks for calling.
Cool. Thank you. Bye.
And that's BF. BF is not a brand new caller, but he's a semi-new caller. So hopefully he'll call back soon. And let's see. Okay, so again, we're wondering what you guys think about sequels that were never made. Weekend at Bernie's 8. It's like, what was that? What was that cop series that was just went on forever? With like it had like football player named Hightower. Oh man, I can't think of it. Police Squad. No, that wasn't it. It wasn't Police Squad. It was Police Academy. No, is that it? I don't know. Anyways, stupid cops. Stupid cops are funny. But I find the thing about stupid cop movies where they make cops like too like human. I don't care for that either. I watched. What did I say I watched last night? Oh, we watched Mad Dog and Glory last night with Uma Thurman in it, and Bill Murray plays a Chicago gangster, and Robert De Niro plays a Chicago cop, and the cops in that movie the cops and the gangsters were really good. This is a Scorsese movie. He knows how to do cops and gangsters. And the Uma Thurman boobies were very nice, I must say. In case you're looking for some Uma Thurman boobies. Let's see. Okay, and again, the movie that I want to see the sequel the most of is The Professional. And if you haven't seen it, it's a very good movie about a paid assassin, a hitman, and he lives alone, and there's a family that lives next door, and they steal some. The husband of the family steals some drugs and money from the mob, and then the mob comes to the house and they kill everybody in the house, and in the apartment next to the assassin, to the hitman, and spoiler alert, and somehow Natalie Portman survives, and she in this movie she's actually in real life 12 years old, and it's the first time we see Natalie Portman on the silver screen, and I think it's a very powerful role for her. I think it really launched her career beyond a shadow of a doubt. She nailed it, and I would so love to see a sequel of, I guess maybe that's the thing, is sequels are never that good, and that movie is so perfect that you don't want to ruin it with somebody, with this half-ass fucking, At the same time, I want to see Natalie Portman training the next generation of up-and-coming assassins. I think that would be so awesome. Just me. And that's the one I would like to see the most of. And I also like to see, I'd love to see Roger Rabbit. I'd love to see a remake, not a remake, but a sequel to the movie Roger Rabbit. Because I think the animation technology that we have today that they in the original movie they go to a place called Toontown, and humans really aren't supposed to go there, but they go in, and it's like everywhere you go you get anvils dropped on your head and shit like that, and I think that with the technology for animation that they have these days, they could really make Toontown this fascinating place that would just be like, it would be an instant video game thing that would just be mind-blowing. There you go. There's the ideas. I am spitting out ideas now, man. I want to see somebody on this idea right now. I want to see them taking Toontown and making it into a video game. An adult video game where you can do all kinds of crazy stuff. You guys remember the gun in Toontown in Roger Rabbit? The bullets talked. I love that movie. That was a fucking great movie also. So nobody else wants to call, is that right? Red Sonja. Oh, I love Xena so much. I can't even tell you. Lucy Lawless. I love that show. That it was. If I was to make a television show, that's the kind of TV I would want to make. That right there. Amazon women all over the place, running around in loincloths and shit. That's the show I want to work on. I wonder why. I'm going to play a video for you. I have a video, and somebody needs to call. This is an important discussion, people. And if we don't have your opinions, I'm just going to sit here and jabber on. Okay, so the question is, should you be double masking? That's right. Is one mask enough, or do you really need to be wearing two masks? That's the question that we should all be asking ourselves right now, and that's what this next video clip is all about.
Well, once again, masks are a hot topic tonight. It comes after several people attended the presidential inauguration wearing two masks. So the question tonight, should you be double masking? Well, KIRO 7's Ryan Sims spoke to health experts. So, Ryan, what are they saying?
Well, they're not really changing their positions on anything. They insist that in this pandemic, it's always good to err on the side of caution and wear two masks instead of one. How much is too much? Following this week's inauguration, that's the question everyone seems to be asking when it comes to double masking.
It doesn't bother me to wear two, and it probably does give extra protection.
It would be hard for me to breathe with two masks on probably, but whatever makes you feel safe, as long as you don't try to impose it on other people.
To this day, the feds have not yet issued a nationwide mask mandate, much less for two masks. But here in the Puget Sound, health experts say some people definitely should double mask it.
If it were an elderly person or someone who had lung COPD or other issues, I would advise them absolutely to wear a double mask all the time.
That's because no matter how great one mask is, experts say there is always more protection with two.
Molecules and the particles are going to go the path of least resistance. So if they can go around the mask rather than go through it, they will do that.
Even then, health experts say it depends on each person and their overall health. Here in Bellingham, those in favor of double masks admit it really is an uphill battle to climb.
I think it's hard enough to get people to wear one, so the idea of people wearing two is probably beyond the pale at this point.
Regardless of the answer, health experts always say even one mask is better than nothing at all. And for what it's worth, you saw in those shots President Biden, he has been double masking for months now. We're live in Bellingham tonight. Ryan Sims, KIRO 7 News.
Speaking to President Biden, he started his day with blunt talk about the pandemic and by signing 10 executive orders to improve the nation's COVID response.
That's what's coming next, people. We got a 100-day mask mandate, and next, I've been thinking about this, right? So this is what's going to happen. Is I've been telling you guys since way before Biden took the occupancy in the White House. I've been telling you that the COVID-19 is going to go away, right? And it's going to go away. I think by April it will be a non-story, right? And now Joe Biden comes out with this 100-day mask thing, right? And all I can think is they're going to go, see, This is all that was necessary. Was it for us to have some real leadership and someone to go, no, we have to mandate that people do these things, otherwise they won't do them. And now, see, we've got this all under control. And by April, it will be a non-story. So that kind of, I'm seeing these things kind of fall into place. So I might be right about that. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. All right, who wants to talk about movies? Or do you want to talk about how you should be wearing double mask? Okay, if you're not wearing a double mask, you have to understand a single mask only protects you so much. The masks don't protect you. The masks do not protect you. The masks are designed to protect other people. So if you're really super concerned about other people, you might want to wear a second mask. But otherwise, I think you're doing plenty of virtue signaling by wearing the first mask. Don't worry, you don't have to wear a second one in order to virtue signal how much better you are than everyone else. But if you want to, you're more than welcome. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I have more videos. I can play more videos. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play another video. I'm going to do it. If we don't get some discussion here, people, about movies, I said my piece. I want to see Roger Rabbit. I want to see a sequel to that because I just think that the video game that would be made of Toontown could be fucking amazing. Imagine just like an open fucking area where you can go anywhere and you can be a cartoon character like Roger Rabbit style and do all kinds of fucking crazy stuff, drop anvils on people's heads and stuff. That sounds like somewhere I'd like to spend some time. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds like a lot of fun to me. Did I tell you that I found that I figured out what the name of my dojo would be if I had a dojo? It would be Falling Anvils. Did I tell you guys that? Falling Anvils. Boom, boom, boom. Come at you like falling anvils, baby. Unstoppable. Telling you. All right, I'm going to play a video. Carjackings are on the rise. Did you know this? Did you know? Or did you want to hear about the sex trafficking that's on the rise? I'm going to play the carjacking one, and they explain here how to survive a carjacking. Oh. Let's see. Hello, caller.
Hey, what are you doing?
I don't know. What are you doing?
Well, I just made a video, and I'm calling you now. I want to know the name of that little yellow Pokemon in the background with the rifle. Is that like?
That Pikachu. That Pikachu.
That's a what?
A Pikachu.
A Pikachu. That's his real name, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I called for, Mike. Thanks for telling me that.
No problem, dude. There's a new movie out, or it's actually about a year old, and it's called Detective Pikachu, and it has this thing like what I'm talking about, where they have. You remember the movie Roger Rabbit?
No.
Okay, where they have people interacting with cartoon characters, and the new movie is called Detective Pikachu, and the guy from Deadpool, the guy from Deadpool does the voice of Pikachu. Which I wish it would have been a fucking R-rated movie. I was like, they kept showing the trailer of this movie, and they're saying, this movie has not been rated yet. And I'm like, oh, make this movie R-rated. I don't know. Do you know the Deadpool movies?
I just started watching the first one. I made it almost halfway through it.
Yeah.
And I'm getting the feeling that guy never dies. Right?
Those movies crack me up, man.
But that same actor was really in a good movie and a very, very good role with the black guy, Denzel Washington, where they were both CIA agents, but Denzel Washington was a really experienced CIA agent, and he had the guy in Deadpool had a girlfriend, but she didn't know he was in the CIA, and he was just like watching a safe house for the CIA, and all of a sudden they bring in this high value prisoner, and then the safe house gets raided, and they go all over the fucking Middle East or North Africa.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, remember that with Denzel Washington, and this is a fucking good movie. A lot of chase scenes, and he finally had to tell his girlfriend, you know, I'm in the CIA and I can't see you anymore. And at the end of the movie, he kind of meets his girlfriend again, sorta, in France. That's the very last scene. You know, you got to give up the girl because your lifestyle's too dangerous to keep the girl. You know, but that's love, man. That's the story of my life.
Man's got to have priorities, dude. You know, man. You gotta. It's like you know, this is why superheroes don't have fucking girlfriends, man. You know, they screw everything up. They're going to get in the way every single fucking time. And then you're going to wind up being all like, oh, she died because of me. It just doesn't work, man. So in Deadpool 2, right, they have a new character named Domino. And she has my favorite superpower of all time.
What is that?
Luck. Yeah, they're building a team of superheroes to go and do this thing, right? And they're interviewing them all, and they ask them all what their superpower is, and they ask her, what's your superpower? And she says, luck. And she says, that's not a superpower. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's hilarious. And I mean, like, everything just fucking... He's like, oh, yeah, I can just see the slow-mo of you falling out of the sky and shooting luck beams out of your eyes everywhere. It's like, you watch, and it's just fucking brilliant, man. I really love that series. Go ahead.
I know everybody's going to hate me for saying this, but if the movie isn't depicting or portraying heroic or virtuous thematic presentation throughout the course of the movie in some way, you know, combined with mystery and drama and thriller and action, if it's just a Rambo movie or a fucking cartoon movie, I really think it's a distraction from the self, which is my quest for fucking omnipotent knowledge is always knowledge of the self, and I don't want to watch Roger Rabbit and fucking Peanuts and you know, Charlie Brown and fucking weird fucking movies that don't have nothing to do with real life. I think I'm a little bit concerned with real life more than most people, you know. Even a good
no movies really have anything to do with real life.
Some of them do. Like
right. No, but look, what you're saying is I'd rather go and spend my time living my life than being distracted by some stupid entertainment. So, you know, right. I mean, so...
I like quality entertainment, like Kingdom of Heaven, my favorite movie of all time. And I bet you've never seen it or even heard of it, right?
I've heard of it. It's not... look, I watch... movies that don't have guns and don't have cars. I don't like cars and guns, mostly.
There's no guns in this movie and there's no cars, dude.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's set in the fucking 11th century.
Oh, that sounds good. What is it about?
Well, it's a semi-historical account of Balian of Jerusalem who saved the people of Jerusalem from, what's his fucking name? Saladin.
Right on.
Aladdin.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's one of the, during one of the, for 100 years, Jerusalem was occupied by Christians, and it was a kingdom all to itself. And they allowed Muslims and Jews and Christians in there, and they had a king of Jerusalem. And Balian served the king, and Saladin wanted to take it back for the Muslims, and it's a semi-historical account of one of the Crusades, sort of. And it's like this great guy, played by Orlando Bloom, and it's a really heroic movie, and I just love the virtue that he portrays, you know. And he almost, the chick, the Queen of Jerusalem, almost fucked up his shit. He almost got distracted by the poo-tang, you know what I mean? He got distracted for a little bit, and then he went out and fucking hacked some people up with swords and shields and stones and broke their faces and shit. And then he said, well, no, I can't do this. I can't be responsible for what you want me to do. And so Saladin attacked, and they got some fireballs in that movie. Does that qualify for explosives? They were shooting fireballs from catapults.
Oh, no, that's fine. Catapults are cool. Catapults are awesome.
Directed by Ridley Scott. I think it's one of his best movies. You know, I think Ridley Scott is by far the best director in the world. He's directed everything from Blade Runner, which was one of his first movies, to fucking Man on Fire, or maybe that was his brother who did Man on Fire. I think it was Ridley Scott who did Man on Fire. I mean,
he did the movie Alien. Alien is an amazing movie.
Oh, did he do that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great director, and I hear there's going to be an Avatar 2 eventually. I'll go see that.
Yeah, I thought I saw something about. I thought I saw an Avatar 2 listed somewhere the other day, but that was an okay movie. You know, it was kind of.
By the time Joe Biden gets done with America, we're not going to have any theaters anymore. We're going to all be living online with masks. And
I don't think so, dude. They have to end this shit so that they can bring the economy back. Otherwise, he can't be a popular president, and there can't be a continuation of the presidency or his policies. So they have to end it. That's what the 100-day mask mandate is about. So they can go, see, all it took was some leadership to get people to wear masks, and boom, the virus disappears. That's what we've been saying all along.
Guess what the WHO came out with today? It's what I've been telling you for fucking 9 months. Is that the WHO came out today with the statement that running the PCR tests at whatever number, I always knew 25 or below, 20, anything higher than 25 was bad. I knew that. But today the WHO came out and said, well, yeah, we don't think we're getting accurate readings when you run the PCR test at 35. And I've been saying that for 9 fucking months. That means all the numbers are wrong.
That means all the tests on the vaccines are wrong. That means all the trials, that means this is a completely untested fucking vaccine. That's what this means.
And I noticed little squeaky Joe Poopy Pants Biden invited this little Italian midget in there. I seen that Italian midget before, long ago in the Trump era, you know.
There's nothing wrong with being there's nothing wrong with being Italian or you know, a little person.
I'm Italian, man. I'm talking about Anthony Fauci, the little Italian midget.
Oh.
I'm ashamed to say he's Italian because he's such a fucking cunt. But he was back on TV again, like, oh, everything, now we got a more infectious thing, and, well, you know, everything will be fine. These vaccines, they're going to be fine, and they'll do the job. You might have to get 6 of them now, and if you grow a third ear, don't worry about it. And he's saying all kinds of shit like that. So it's like, you know, this is what they wanted. They wanted to usher in a sci-fi movie where there's an infectious agent and life changes, and we're all very, very modern, futuristic third world slaves in a banana republic that used to be called America. America, God shed His grace on thee.
Yeah, you know, in the movie V for Vendetta, every time they talk about the United States, they say the former United States. I love that.
I never even noticed that.
Yeah.
Did they really say that?
Yeah, the former United States.
What happened to? Did they ever say what happened to the former?
No, they don't go. No, they don't go into it a whole lot. But they talk about how there's like civil war going on there.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen that movie Wag the Dog, but I know there is, like, you know, civil war in some fucking Middle East country or something, and they bring a producer in there who's produces sound bites to cover up this psyop, and so that's where we're at. We're in a cross between Wag the Dog and V for Vendetta. It's like Wag the Vendetta, man. I want to see a sequel to Wag the Vendetta. Oh, I forgot. I'm living in a sequel to Wag the Vendetta. So, I mean, that wouldn't be such a bad sequel, V for Vendetta. That would be a pretty good sequel, actually.
It would be interesting. It's again one of those things where I think the reason that do you know the movie The Professional?
Yeah, about the assassin who teaches a girl how to kill.
Yeah, well, yeah, he does it reluctantly. He saves her life, and then that's what she wants. So he wants to give her what she wants. I think that's like a perfect movie, and that's the one I'd love to see the most a sequel of. But the thing is, the sequels are just never as good, and then it winds up kind of muddying your perfect thing. I made this perfect thing, and now it's like not as perfect because we made a sequel to it, and people think that that's somehow part of the story, which it is. I mean, if it was Natalie Portman training the next generation of up and coming assassin, which I want to see so bad. That would be awesome.
Well, I did notice that the guy, I think it was a Japanese guy or something, that directed the sequel to Blade Runner, did an awesome job. He tried to make it look so much like the original, like Ridley Scott originally made the original. It was just awesome, the sequel to Blade Runner. I don't even know the name of it. It might have been Blade Runner 2, but I was
It's
really
Blade
impressed.
Runner 20 something, or like some number, like a date after it. It's Blade Runner 2020 something or something. I don't know.
When you have a good story, good actors, and really good sets and scenery and effects, then you're pretty sure to hit to make a good movie. A good director, good actors, good story.
I think honestly it takes a little bit. I think it takes a lot of time, and it takes people that are not like in a hurry, and a lot of people are in a hurry, and a lot of people are head cases, like you're saying. You have good actors and stuff. I think some of these people, so-called good actors, could probably be really head cases to work with, and and everybody's got to kind of jive. It's like The Fifth Element. In that movie, what I see is like a whole bunch of fucking rock stars and supermodels. They were like calling all their friends and going, "Hey man, we got this thing, really cool shit going down. You should come and hang out." And like, yeah, that sounds awesome. And that's what happened. And they made a movie together, And I love the sound. Oh, Fifth Element?
Yeah.
Fifth Element's amazing, dude. We watch it on Christmas Eve.
Amazing, yeah.
I mean, the Chris Tucker, I think is the rock, the DJ guy.
Rock?
No, Chris Tucker, I think. Chris Tucker. And he's fucking great from the second he comes on screen. And just everybody in the movie just has, and Mila Jovovich was fucking amazing. And I don't know, it's a great movie. And the soundtrack is amazing. And again, you have all these rock stars and supermodels that are playing bit parts throughout the thing. And like,
who's the rock star?
Tricky?
Tricky?
Yeah.
I never heard of Tricky. Man, he must be great.
What?
Tricky?
You never heard? Yeah, you don't listen to Henry Rollins either, dude. You go look up Henry Rollins. You type in, immediately when you get off the phone, you type in Henry Rollins liar. And you watch that fucking video, because you are missing out, dude.
New artist, man. I'm old school. Henry Rollins is like a disco guy, right?
No. Henry Rollins, liar. You go watch that. That is fucking amazing. He starts off dressed as a cop.
You can't pay attention to everything. Yeah, I missed the Henry Rollins boat, but I got on the Van der Graaf generator boat. You ever heard of Van der Graaf generator? No. How about Magma? Mike, you heard of Magma?
I don't know. My brain's not really working right now. But
I don't know, man. I'm just more into really far out. And Henry Rollins, despite the fact that I know nothing about him except he looks pretty decent, like he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's probably pretty mainstream, and mainstream kind of bores me. I don't think he's an experimentalist. I like the experimentalists. Like, go listen to Oodoo Voodoo by Magma, which is the French Led Zeppelin. Magma was the French Led Zeppelin with a great drummer called Christian Vander, I think, who was the leader. And just listen to Oodoo Voodoo all the way through. It's just fucking amazing, man. It's you know, and I like Leonard Bernstein doing The Rites of Spring, and I like you know, Roundabout by Yes, and I like all kinds of weird shit all over the place. I like Iggy Pop, so you know, I'm sorry I missed the Henry.
Who doesn't like Iggy Pop? I'm just saying, we were talking the other day, and I used him as a reference because he says this thing. You were saying something about, oh, I was explaining again that these people, you know, that people are desperate for a politician. They want to believe. They want to like these people. They want to like the news people. They don't want to look at them and think, oh, fucking fake news cunt. You know, they want to think, oh, thank God we have this person, you know. Thank God we have this politician. They want that desperately, and because of that, they don't. It makes it very difficult for them to be critical thinking, you know. And Henry Rollins, he starts off this video, you know. He's in a police uniform, and he's talking about how to this girl, and she's like, and you get abused this way, and you get abused that way, and the world is so cruel to you, and then you meet me. And I say everything you've ever wanted to hear. And he's dressed as a police officer, and the next thing he's dressed as Superman, and it's very, very, very good. You know, it's just, that's how the politicians are. You know, these people are desperate, like getting beat up by this politician and that politician and the police state and the fucking bullshit and this and that. And then you meet this politician, and he says everything you ever wanted to hear. You know, that's all.
Except, yeah. I mean, we know that's the way of the world, and but you know, one thing didn't change is that Israel is still the master of the United States. Joe Biden came out today and he said he's not going to change the Jerusalem is the capital of Israel thing. So it's like, okay, you know, Trump served his purpose. He fucked up with Israel, and Biden is just going to keep giving Israel $19 million every day for the next 6 months that he's alive, and then Kamala Harris will give him $19 million a day. So some things never change. If I was president, the first thing I would do...
It doesn't change because the politicians are all the same. That's what I keep telling you guys. There isn't a difference between the left and the right. There is no left and right. Again, they're just talking to different suckers that are desperate to hear the words they want to hear.
I would immediately declare AIPAC as a foreign, a foreign body in the corpus of America, like a fucking cancer. And just like you guys got to declare yourself the servants of a foreign body. And boy, everyone would jump up and start waving their pitchforks and torches and shit. Oh, you're anti-Semite, and it's like, dude, every other country who has a lobby, it's declared a foreign lobby. Why can't we do it with Israel too? But you're an anti-Semite. Oh, you know how many times I've been called an anti-Semite? It doesn't even hurt anymore. It's like, okay, it's like a badge of honor. But and then they twist the history around it. It takes so much just to dig and learn the actual history of Israel itself.
I thought all you had to do was watch this movie you were talking about.
Oh, well, that's ancient history, man. I love that. You know, there was no problem with that land in between the time Saladin took it over. Well, I think there was one more failed crusade that ended up in a stalemate. But after that, there was no real trouble until Zionism arose. So you had like 800 years of Jews and Christians and Muslims living pretty peacefully together in all those countries. And then the Zionists came between World War I and World War II.
Yeah.
World
All right.
War One.
I gotta look. I gotta take a quick break. I will. It's good to hear from you.
Kingdom of Heaven.
Yeah.
Kingdom of Heaven. Mike.
Okay.
Great
All right.
movie.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
All right, bye. I got a video for you about carjackings on the rise in the USA, and I will be back momentarily, and we will have a bong hit. Just a minute.
A sharp rise in carjacking has authorities in King County concerned. Tonight, their warning and advice for you.
31, we're on the pursuit.
It has been a dangerous year of virulent COVID and violent crime,
I'm going to let you guys call the pursuit.
with carjackings up dramatically.
It was really scary.
On Saturday and on Tuesday of this week, there was a carjacking and attempted carjacking in the same Georgetown neighborhood, one with shots fired.
He used a stolen vehicle to jack another vehicle.
Dante Henderson tried to stop the armed men responsible for stealing his SUV by hanging onto the side of the fleeing vehicle. Were you scared when this was happening?
Nah, not till he picked up speed. I seen he was going a little faster and faster, and I was like, oh yeah, jumping off of this is gonna be a problem.
In October, an armed carjacking in an extended stay parking lot.
The guy was just talking very rampant and then stopping and realizing that this just happened to me.
Led to a 114-mile-an-hour chase on northbound 405.
Endangering the lives of everyone around them.
It ended in a crash involving 3 cars with a suspect trapped in a tree.
He's approximately 60 feet up.
They're right behind him.
Over the past year, the King County Sheriff's Office reports a 40% increase in carjackings.
I think what's most concerning is that many of these subjects are armed. Carjacking is one of the most violent crimes we experience.
This Mercedes and Toyota were recovered from recent carjackings. 2 weeks ago, 3 people were arrested in a stolen car. They are persons of interest in multiple carjackings in South King County. Do you have any idea what the motivation was behind those?
It's simply sport, and that's what's most concerning. The victims in this case were some of the most vulnerable people in our community.
In December, a carjacking in White Center led to a chase through Burien and South Seattle. In Federal Way, a person selling a car on Craigslist was met by carjackers who stole their vehicle with the owner's girlfriend inside. Why are carjackings up during the pandemic?
What we've seen with the pandemic is we have fewer people out. Your victims may be more visible. There are less potential witnesses around.
I was bailing, trying to jack a car.
Newer cars are computerized and more challenging for some thieves to steal. King County investigators believe that could be contributing to a rise in carjackings.
They become more complicated, they get more difficult to steal. Theft deterrent systems, some may see this as just the quickest and easiest way to do so.
Well, they just pitted.
As police look for ways to stop the overall rise in violent crime,
it's something you don't really think will happen to you until it does.
there are things you can do to reduce your chances of becoming a carjacking victim.
He pulled a gun from his hip, cocked it, and pointed it at me, yanked the car door open, and said, "Get out or we'll kill you both."
Police recommend when you're walking to your vehicle, be aware of your surroundings. Look around. Get into your vehicle quickly. Don't linger. At a red light, if there's a car in front of you, allow a little extra room just in case you need a quick out. And finally, if someone demands your vehicle, don't fight them. Give it to them.
They found it right there.
Dante Henderson is a lucky man. He got back his SUV and escaped, alarmed but alive.
Cars can be replaced. Cars have values, but our lives are priceless.
While carjackings are a concern in King County, other metropolitan areas have seen much higher numbers during the pandemic. In New Orleans, they're up 126%. Chicago, 134%. And in Minneapolis, they're up a whopping 537%.
All right, so, and I want to just take a real quick second and agree with Mr. Freeman that that it would be very interesting to see a sequel to Up in Smoke. Although I don't know, it's weird, you know. You see Cheech Marin playing cops on TV and stuff like that. It's really weird, you know, that he could come back and be a stoner. But he did that role really well. So I imagine he wouldn't have any problem getting back into it. That would be a cool movie to see a sequel to. Okay, you ready for a puff? I'm ready for a puff.
Michael.
Hello.
Hey. What's going on?
Puff.
Ooh, I'm so fucking jealous and so dry. That's a bong hit, isn't it? I hear a bong hit.
Yeah, definitely a bong. Why are you dry? What is up with that?
I just got home. I've been on the coast and I just got home and haven't done anything about reeing up yet.
Oh, well, it's good to hear from you. Thanks for joining us.
I got to tell you a real story. So I've been traveling around doing some music and stuff. My voice is a little blown, so I apologize for being quiet. But
sound like you've been working hard.
My original plan is I heard some dude say, like, I don't know, busy doing dishes or something, and all of a sudden in my headphones I heard Italian midget. And I thought they were talking about me. So I called, and my original intention was just to make Craig laugh and then hang up. But I don't know where the hell you found him. If I could get one friend as cool as your friend Craig, how many jobs is he doing back there? Oh my goodness me.
He's always busy. Craig, I remember when Craig came to me, he can make happen what he wants to make happen, you know. And he came to me, he was like, hey, I really want to hook up with you. I'm a limo driver and I'd love to drive you around in limousine. And I'm like, okay, that sounds awesome. And then like never talked to him. And he kept calling and saying, hey, I want to drive you. And then finally he just showed up at the studio where we were making TV in a limo and was like, hey, let me
And you and a bunch of sexy, fine-ass bitches, that's what I heard. Rolled up into that limousine. I heard that from the other side.
There was always women. There's always women, you know. But and then I remember he came to me and he said, I'm thinking about starting this business and I just want to get your opinion. What do you think? And I said, is it what you want to do? And he said, I really want to do this. And I said, dude, you're going to be successful at whatever it is that you really want to do. Cause
he so has to be. He's so dedicated. And he multitasks like a woman. I'm not saying he has any other feminine characteristic that I've ever encountered. But that's the only man I've ever seen who can keep up with a woman at the multitasking. It's amazing to me. How is the world, Michael?
The world is a strange place these days, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't watch the inauguration or anything because you want to know what's going on in L.A.?
What?
I can tell you it's not a shutdown.
Well,
I've been in L.A. I've been playing music in L.A. This party's bumping until the next morning in L.A.
Well, yeah.
Asshole to belly button.
Yeah, that's the way. I mean, that's what life should be. Is that private parties you've been doing or... Are you playing? It's not like all private stuff. That's awesome though. I mean, it's good that you're keeping busy like that.
Trying to. Well, I missed you guys. I was supposed to be in Oregon and I was going to segue up to Seattle, but it might be another week before I can do that. But I am planning to come up and see you guys. I talk about it all the time around here.
Awesome. We'll throw some steaks on the Barbie.
That sounds fantastic. Okay, I'm going to get off here and find some chamomile for my boys. I love you, gentlemen. Have a fabulous night.
You get some rest, doll parts. It's really good to hear from you.
It's nice to hear from you. Have a good night.
Okay, bye-bye. And that's our buddy Katrinka. It's always, and she's so nice. Again, all you guys are very nice. It's always nice for you to share. It's always good to hear from you. She's been on the road working. She's one of those work people all the time. If there's work to do and I got some, I'm gonna go make it happen. It's, That's the kind of people you want to be around, because those people are always making interesting things happen, even if they're busy working. Okay, so I have more videos, but I'm hoping to get some phone calls. I messed up. I didn't ask Katrinka what movie she wanted to see a sequel of. If you're in the chat, Doll Parts, let us know what movie you want to see a sequel of. Hi, Jackie Cat. So again, the number is right there on the screen if you want to call. We're talking about movies tonight. I talk about movies a lot. I think that movies have are kind of a social, way to see where society is at, in a lot of ways. They portray things that you artistically that you can't really talk about, like this thing with when I talk about this movie V for Vendetta all the time, and it's about the government making and releasing a virus on the people to terrify the people, and how the news media works with the government to terrify the people. I want them to be reminded of how badly they need us. Because they're terrified. And let's see. I have more videos. I have a video about the FBI has increased its reward for information on DC protesters to $75,000. And I thought that you guys would want to know that because, we've talked about how, I think last night we were talking about how one of the people that turned in DC protesters was a young woman who turned in her parents, her mother and her father, said that she saw them in video online at the Capitol. And she turned them in, and then the very next day, she had a GoFundMe page that made $50,000 in one day or something. So if you're friends, if they're $75,000 or your so-called friends, come on, $75,000 or your so-called friends, you know where you're at. I'm really glad to see the people fighting for to take back the House of Representatives. I really, really was glad to see it. I think it was a beautiful thing seeing all those protesters on Capitol grounds, and again, what I saw was peaceful protesters who could have been smashing statues and ripping down hundreds-year-old paintings and setting fires to things. They want to call them domestic terrorists. I think that word should be reserved for very specific people who blow shit up, people who set things on fire. That's not what happened at the House of Representatives, the People's House. Protesters occupied and took it back from so-called representatives that they believe are doing crimes in the good name of these United States and with our tax dollars and so forth and so forth. So I'll play a video for you now about the FBI increasing the reward because I have a video and I can. So here we go.
In the meantime, we turn next tonight to news in the investigation after the deadly riots at the Capitol. Tonight, the FBI now increasing the reward for information about the suspect after those pipe bombs were found in D.C. the day of the siege. And tonight, also news of an arrest in the case of that officer crushed in that doorway. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, tonight.
Even as the arrests of those involved in the Capitol insurrection mount, one key suspect remains elusive. The person who planted those two pipe bombs at the nearby Democratic and Republican headquarters. Tonight, the FBI and ATF increasing the reward to $75,000 for any information about who's responsible. But as the hunt for the bomber continues, we're learning chilling details about other suspects arrested. Including authorities say this man, seen crushing D.C. police officer Daniel Hodges in that doorway. Patrick McCaughey of Connecticut, remaining in custody after being arrested following a tip to the FBI from a childhood friend. Also being held, William Calhoun, who allegedly bragged on social media about kicking down the door to Speaker Pelosi's office, part of an angry mob which he said would have torn her into pieces. In denying bail to Calhoun, who is an attorney, the judge described him as a threat, a man whose mind had been poisoned and who has no respect for the laws of the United States.
All right, so let's get right back to Pierre with us tonight as the FBI continues this investigation. Pierre, we also got news tonight on Director Christopher Wray at the FBI. It appears he's going to stay.
David, Chris Wray was under threat of being fired by Trump for months. The White House said today he's staying put, so he remains knee-deep in this massive Capitol Hill investigation, David.
All right, Pierre Thomas with us. Pierre, thank you. Meantime, in Washington tonight, there remains somewhat of a guessing game about when the impeachment trial of former President Trump could begin. We're learning late today that Republican leader Mitch McConnell wants to delay now until February. That message comes just hours after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi spoke about when the article of impeachment might be delivered to the Senate. And there appears to be daylight between them. Here's what she said.
It will be soon. I don't think it will be long, but we must do it.
It will be soon, not long. I want to get to ABC's congressional correspondent Rachel Scott tonight. Then you heard Mitch McConnell say February. So give us the bottom line tonight. What are we learning?
Well, David, we were expecting that impeachment trial to start any day now, but Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is now proposing that the impeachment trial not start until mid-February. This was about getting out ahead of the new Democratic Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, but also about buying former President Trump a little bit more time here. He was just impeached 1 week ago. He has struggled to find a defense team. Tonight, we are learning that he has hired Butch Bowers as his first lawyer. Democrats, David, would have to agree to this. Schumer's office telling us tonight that they are reviewing it, but this could play in their favor. It could buy them more time to confirm Biden's cabinet nominees, David.
Of course, all this testing the new power dynamic in Washington between the parties. Rachel Scott with us tonight. Rachel, thank you.
There's my boo bear. Okay, so, and don't forget, you guys have to wear double mask. We have to wear 2 masks now in order to make sure that we can stop the spread of this horrible, horrible disease. And again, I have a video again about what this horrible disease is doing to our society. Do you know that there's more sex people being pushed into the sex trade, being pushed into prostitution, being pushed into working on live webcams for tips, getting naked and doing naughty things? Did you know that? I see it everywhere. It's everywhere. And I have a video about that. I know you want to see that. And last night in Seattle, there was on inauguration night, the night that Joe Biden takes the White House, takes occupancy of the White House, there was protest in downtown Seattle that made a lot of noise. And I have video of that to share with you also. So, other than that, I'd love to hear a caller. Otherwise, I'm going to just play another video. I've talked about the movies that I want to see. Let's see. So, I will play a video for you momentarily. Let's see. Boo Bear, you okay, buddy? Huh? Are you okay? You're my beautiful baby. Alright, I'll play a video for you. Let's see. COVID, sex trade, Biden, protest, downtown. I'll play the COVID. Hey, there's my beautiful baby. What you doing? What you doing? COVID, sex trade, coming up right now. Here we go.
COVID-19 has exacerbated many problems, from crime to hunger, and it's also impacted human trafficking. The Port of Seattle and survivors advocates say COVID-19 could be sending more people into the sex trade. But KIRO 7's Ranjay Sinha explains there are also hopeful signs.
Like most of us, Lalitha Williams watched as Washington state locked down due to COVID-19. People lost jobs, lost hope. For her, seeing people at food pantries brought back rough memories.
I was exposed to trafficking at 12 years old, and it was strictly because I was hungry.
and was in a place that somebody could take advantage of that.
Williams says COVID-19 spreads sickness, hunger, and desperation, all of which can contribute to human trafficking.
It's not necessarily always someone being trafficked by a person. Sometimes it's a circumstance.
For years, the Port of Seattle has joined the fight against human trafficking. Signs are up at the airport and at ports urging people to report. Sam Cho with the Port of Seattle says it's worked. People across Washington have called regarding human trafficking and pushed Washington into the top 10 for call volume nationwide in 2019.
A surge indicates that more people are reaching out for help.
But the grim reality is finding a victim at an airport or port means authorities are too late.
In my view, at that point, the trafficking has already occurred.
The signs are one good thing because people are going to write the number down and call when they can.
Lilith Williams says with more people online and socially isolated, it's a breeding ground for labor and sex trafficking.
This COVID has increased the panic between people.
Williams hopes people across our region will hear her story and raise awareness that human trafficking is happening, and fighting it starts in communities, not at the airport.
You are not alone.
Ranji Sinha, Cairo 7 News.
Well, the Department of Homeland Security has things to consider when you're trying to look out for human trafficking. They include, has a person lost connection with friends and family or left school? Is a person showing signs of mental stress or physical abuse? And do they seem fearful or submissive? Are they being denied food, water, or medical care? And are they often with someone who controls their moves and situation? And do they lack possessions or stable housing? Is their movement restricted?
What you doing, Boogie Bear? How's my beautiful baby? Okay, so tomorrow, again, we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So that means we'll be back tomorrow at same. I still have another video. I'm not going anywhere. We're back tomorrow, same Mox time, same Mox channel. And tomorrow night, what I want to do, again, trying kind of not to focus on the politics so much, is I want to do tomorrow night Mega Millions ticket. The winning ticket is worth $1 billion. Okay, I have one right here. I'm not going to show you the number. I'll show you the number tomorrow night. Okay, right before the drawing, because they'll do the drawing while we're making the TV show. And if this ticket right here wins, everybody who makes a comment in the chat of the live show gets $10,000. That's going to be what tomorrow night's show is about. That's going to be the title of the show. Everybody, if this lottery ticket wins tomorrow, I don't want to show you the number right now because then other people will go out and get the lottery with the same number. We don't want that. So, if this one wins tomorrow, even if we have to share it with 3 or 4 other people, everybody who makes a comment in the chat section get $10,000. You get $10,000, and you get $10,000, and you, buddy, get a lot more than that. Okay? So, I got the ticket. We're ready. It's waiting. I hope we see you tomorrow for sure, because you don't want to miss out on that, right? We'll do the numbers live on the show tomorrow night. So have your tickets ready. And I'm not, I was thinking, do $1,000 or whatever, but, $1,000 isn't like really life-changing money, but $10,000 can make a big difference in somebody's life. And, so I was thinking, if you do $1,000 and you have 1,000 people comment, and then you win, you might have to share the lottery with 3 or 4 people, like I said, and you win $200 million or whatever. Big deal. You still, $1,000 to 1,000 people in the comment section would be like, that's $1 million, right? But $10,000, that's $10 million, right? So I'm not being stingy. I'm not. I want to share the wealth, as they say, and I want it to do it in such a way as it actually makes a difference to people who are showing up and appreciative of the work that we do here. And I just think it'd be really cool if I can make that happen. So send all your good vibes this way, and then maybe tomorrow we'll be able to give everybody in the chat $10,000. Won't that be fun? Huh? I don't have $1 billion. I can't give $1 billion to everyone in the chat, can I? Especially if I have to share the jackpot with 3 or 4 people. I'm just trying to be nice. I'm just trying to have fun. I wouldn't even normally buy a lottery ticket. I was just like, hey, maybe we can have people tune into the show. Maybe they'll be interested in this $10,000 giveaway. I thought that'd be fun. Never mind then. Huh. Is Dr. Whisper in there? See, that would be totally life-changing shit for Dr. Whisper. You give him $10,000. He'd probably, then he could buy the good heroin to shoot into his eyeballs instead of that crap he gets off the street. Oh, I'll be giving away millions to people. But it's people who really deserve it. Not just people who showed up because it said win $10,000. And you can count on it. I would definitely give millions to people right away. Because I would want them to have their lives the way they wanted it. Right away. I want them to be able to just stop everything and do what they want. Because that's the way life should be. Really and truly. One of these days, when the robot overlords take over, then we'll all be able to live lives of leisure. Won't that be nice? Alright, you guys, I'm going to play another video for you. Since no one's calling, this is a call-in show, people. The number's right there on the screen. Alright, I know you have phones. This is about the Biden protest that happened last night in Seattle. And I thought it was hilarious when I played a video last night about the Biden protest that was going on live while we were making the show last night. I played a protest video, news story about it. And I thought it was interesting that some of the Trump supporters were like so immediately defensive. They're like, oh, these people are not Trump supporters. Don't you dare say these people are Trump supporters. And it's just like, no, they're Americans, just like all the other protesters that I keep talking about, okay? They're Americans in the street demanding that their government hear their voices, desperate for their government to hear their voices, saying, we deserve better. And again, they're Americans. They deserve our support. So, here you go.
A day marked by calls for unity ends with chaos in Seattle. Anarchists leave a trail of vandalism on Inauguration Day, setting an American flag on fire and smashing windows at the original Starbucks in Pike Place Market.
This is our neighborhood, so to see the destruction at Starbucks, it makes me feel sad.
Tonight, we have updates on the damage, the arrests, and concerns about a new wave of violent protests.
An abolish ICE anti-Biden, anti-police demonstration quickly turning violent as dozens of anarchists dressed in black bloc marched through downtown Seattle just hours after Joe Biden was sworn into office as the 46th president of the United States.
KOMO's Joel Marino has been following the rioters on the ground for several hours. He starts our live team coverage tonight. Joel?
Mary and Preston, we made sure we kept our distance because this group was so volatile and unpredictable. I mean, just look at how they smashed up this federal courthouse. Now, there were only about 50 or 60 of them, but for a short time, they seemed to have the run of the city.
Vandals spent extra time at this building where Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, has one of its offices. On the street out front, they burned a flag and littered the roadway with newspaper racks, rental bicycles, and construction barricades to disrupt traffic as people headed through downtown Seattle during the evening commute.
and they've created a lot of damage and violence and graffiti.
They threw rocks and water bottles at the journalists who followed, and early on even roughed up a man who followed them preaching about Jesus. The rioters also tagged buildings with slogans like "Abolish everything" and "Kill ICE," and chanted "Black Lives Matter" as they zigzagged through the city. Police started trailing the group about 30 minutes into the march and quickly ordered the group to disperse due to all the property damage and violence being committed. That's when the arrests began. Police say the fact that they dress entirely in black makes it difficult to pick out individuals who are committing crimes, and they need to have probable cause before they start taking people into custody.
We, of course, respect people's right to free speech, and we want to let them voice their opinions and be heard, but we need to find that balance in protecting the safety of the general public as well.
Police made 3 arrests. 1 was for assault and 2 others for property damage, which included a burglary. Back to you.
Joe Moreno live in Seattle tonight. Thank you, Joe. Happening tonight, many who live in Seattle say they are fed up with seeing smashed up windows and spray-painted businesses in their already devastated neighborhoods. KOMO's Tammy Mutasa continues our live team coverage tonight with a closer look at the aftermath of tonight's destruction. Tammy?
Preston, I talked to neighbors who are shaking their heads tonight, wondering what it will take to end this destruction. One woman told me her house is on sale because she can't take living here anymore.
It's just so frustrating.
A new era in America did not change what neighbors feel is a new normal in Seattle. Another night of broken glass, shattered windows, graphic graffiti from continued riots.
This city is dying because of these people.
It's not the picture Anita wanted to see in her downtown neighborhood.
We're dying. This used to be a beautiful city. It used to be a great place to live.
Police say not only did the group smash out window after window at the original Starbucks in Pike Place Market, the Amazon Go store had busted windows and graffiti tagged Skin Biden and Cop Mala. The door windows at the William Kenzo Nakumara Federal Courthouse were also bashed in.
I mean, we came out to see the protest, but it is really rough when we see some damage like that. Then it changes things.
On a night where Angelique and Michael are celebrating, they're also surveying damage too.
It's rough to see. We love our neighborhood, and this is a place where people come. It's a great destination. It just makes me sad to see the window looking like that.
Anita says she's trying to sell her home so she can leave Seattle and its problems behind.
It's not really worth it anymore. I just feel aggravated. All the businesses are closed up. All the restaurants are closed up. What I moved here for, it's, you know, nothing's going on anymore, so it's really sad.
And we're told tonight that original Starbucks will be guarded overnight after that extensive damage. Back to you.
In the last hour, rioters clashed with federal officers outside the ICE building in Portland. This is video just in from our sister station there. We've seen tear gas deployed. Portland police report vandalism as well as people carrying weapons. There have been multiple violent demonstrations throughout the day. One group in Portland marched to the state Democratic Party headquarters, smashing out windows and spraying graffiti on the building. Multiple weapons, including knives, crowbars, and Molotov cocktails, were recovered by police. At least 8 people have been arrested.
And this definitely isn't the first time we've seen violent protests on Inauguration Day. Back in 2017, you probably remember, anti-Trump marchers mixed with a large group trying to shut down an event featuring controversial speaker Milo Yiannopoulos, the University of Washington there. One man was shot and wounded in that chaos. Meantime, a much different scene tonight in our nation's capital, which remains heavily fortified. It was a calm and peaceful Inauguration Day with events taking place under heavy security and lockdowns 2 weeks after the deadly riots at the U.S. Capitol building. Tonight, it's a new era at the White House.
And you notice, I mean, again, the Donald Trump supporters from last night saying, those aren't Donald Trump supporters protesting. Yeah, again, but let me point out that what they are is liberals, anarchists, and they are attacking left. Right, they're attacking the Democratic headquarters. They're attacking the federal building, I think they're attacking Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. Did you see the graffiti that said "abolish everything" in big, like 4-foot tall letters across the one fence? Abolish everything. They're making like a really big deal about that. Abolish everything. It's like, you know, the first to start off, abolish ICE, abolish this, abolish that. And it's like, abolish everything. They want to abolish everything. It's just like, it's like this fear thing. They're like so afraid. The people, and I'm talking about the news readers, you know, the people that are, you know, in these elitist positions, they're so afraid of this idea of freedom. You know, abolish everything, meaning legalize everything, end your fucking laws, you know, abolish the presidency, abolish this. They don't want this fucking police state hanging over their heads anymore. You know, abolish ICE. That was really an abolish ICE protest, huh, Boo Bear? That was an abolish ICE we gotta go brush teethies. That was an abolish ICE protest, and but again, it was like protesting Joe Biden because they're trying to get those people attention, because those are the people in power now, and the people in power are pretty much just exactly the same as the last people in power. So they're using basically the same tactics. You know, I think again, what is in the street is Americans, proud, brave Americans, brave enough to go into the street and stand up against a police state, to demand that their so-called representatives hear their voices, and give them a prospect of a brighter tomorrow, a better future for everyone. You know, we don't need ICE. ICE is bullshit. Alright, so I am out of videos. I'm going to play this other video right here. But you guys need to call if you want to call. This is kind of like your last chance, because otherwise I got to go brush doggy teeth. A man has got to have priorities, damn it. And it's doggy teeth brushing day. You can count on it. You can believe that one, huh, Boo Bear? He knows. Time to get their teethies brushed. That's his favorite. He loves getting his teethies brushed.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
Alright, so I love that video. You guys know I love that video. And seeing her in the park grooving on that juice box like it's the best juice box ever reminded me of the walk that I went on today with my pooches. And we were walking, and at one part of the walk, we were walking along this one private school, and I believe it's a Christian school. And there was a bunch of little kids. It's like an elementary school, you know, like 6th grade or less. They all looked much younger than that. They all looked like 2nd, 3rd grade, something like that, 4th grade maybe. And we were walking. There's a bunch of them out in the playground, and none of them had masks on, which I love. But because it's just so, I mean, it's so hard to be a kid to start with, and then you have this fear element of everybody having to wear a mask and you being afraid of that person because they have a mask on, which means they might make you sick. You know, I can't imagine the poor kids or the parents. So we're walking the dogs, and or I'm walking with Rufus and Sammy, and these kids, they start running up to the fence, right? We're walking kind of like 15 feet away from the fence, but on this side of the street where the fence is, you know, chain link fence. And they start running up to the fence, and they're all like, "Hi, I love your dogs." And then more of them run over, and they're like, "Hi, I love your dog." And then Rufus decides to take a shit, you know, and I'm like, "Oh, hi." And the dog's taking a poo, and I gotta go over and pick up the dog poo, and there's like 20 kids standing there watching. And but I thought it was crazy because, you know, you see the fear in their parents, you know, and their parents are just all like, "Oh, you know, I'm so afraid everywhere. There's stuff to be afraid of everywhere. Fear, fear, fear." And then you see the kids, you know, they're just little kids, and they're enjoying their day, and because they're able to let go and enjoy their day, they realize there's no reason to have fear. I don't want to carry that fear with me everywhere, because then I won't be able to enjoy my day. So little kids just go and enjoy their day. Yay, yay, yay. Like, "Hi! Ooh, I love your dogs! I love your doggies!" And then more kids come over. I'm like, "Oh, shit." And they're like, "I have a doggy, too!" I'm like, "Yay, it's great. Having dogs are great. It's, huh?" And it's so weird. But, you know, I find it fascinating that, again, the kids don't seem to have the fear. You know, but that's not the way that's not what I see in their parents' eyes, for sure. And I thought you guys might find that interesting. Anyways, I like to share little stories about what happened throughout my day, you know, in order for you guys to see that I'm not just focused on this negative stuff all the time. And again, that's what we try to do with tonight's title of tonight's show, was to talk about something a little bit more lighthearted, you know. I know everybody's depressed that Joe Biden is president. I mean, everyone's so hopeful. Do you see in that last video? And on today, Inauguration Day, when everyone is so hopeful, how can we let these people come into the street and protest? I don't. This is we're so hopeful that this new boss is the same as the old boss, will do something new that the old boss didn't do, but we know he won't because he's exactly the same as the old boss. But we're so hopeful. We're so hopeful. Fuck hope. Fucking hate hope. I don't know how many times I gotta tell you guys, I fucking hate hope. And you know why? Because if it wasn't for hope, you know, if it wasn't that we're so hopeful, we're hopeful that this politician's different, that this politician will really make a difference. If it wasn't for hope, if we didn't have that hope, that was gone, we'd know what to do. And we'd do it right away. We'd take care of business. We'd make sure that business was taken care of. So, fucking hate hope. All these people selling you hope. Oh, on such a hopeful day, inauguration, better. We finally got rid of the evil. Yeah, that's what we did. And we replaced it with what exactly? Okay, people. I have another video if you want to see another video, but nobody's calling or anything, so alright, I'll play one more video for you and give you one last chance to call, and that's it. If you want to talk about what movie you'd most like to see a sequel made of, now's your chance. There's my Boo Bear. And I gotta go brush my doggy's teeth. So it's teethy brushing day.
We're learning more tonight about a San Diego woman shot and killed Wednesday when, according to authorities, pro-Trump rioters breached the U.S. Capitol building. Capitol Police publicly identified Ashley Babbitt as the woman who was killed. And Babbitt's husband, Aaron, told our sister station his wife was a San Diego native and spent 14 years in the military between the Air Force and the D.C. National Guard. Babbitt said his wife went to Washington, D.C. to take part in Wednesday's protest where she met up with friends. He said he sent her a status check text message message about 30 minutes before the shooting and never heard back.
She didn't have any weapons on her, and I don't know why she had to die in the people's house. That's our house. It's everybody's house. It doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. I don't know why she had to die inside the house. I saw the pictures. I had to see the pictures of my wife dying on the news.
Well, the chief of the Metropolitan Police Department said in a news conference today the woman was shot by one Capitol Police officer with a service weapon after protesters breached the fencing.
She loved her country, and she was doing what she thought was right to support her country and joining up with people, like-minded people that also love their president and their country. And, you know, she was voicing her opinion, and she got killed for it.
Babbitt was transported to a local hospital where she later died. The officer was placed on administrative leave in accordance with police policy. Police also say 3 others died during medical emergencies.
Okay, so that's it. We didn't get any phone callers. I told you guys my idea, but for what I thought was the movies that I would most like to see a sequel of. Again, The Professional with Natalie Portman. I would love to see the sequel to that movie, and I would really like to see a sequel to Roger Rabbit, because I think that would be again, with the technology they have to do animation these days, I think they could do this stuff with Toontown, if you guys remember the movie, and then make just a wide open virtual video game that would just be unbelievable. But that's just me. And it's too bad we didn't get more of your opinion. But to those who did call and share opinions with us, we really appreciate it. Thanks so much for calling. And again, Mox News survives solely on contributions from good people like you. So if you're interested in helping Mox News continue on another day, and we are doing this every Monday through Friday, there are clickable links in the text body of this video, or you can go to moxnews.com. It's easy to leave a donation, or there's clickable links in the chat. Tomorrow night, we have a Mega Millions ticket here that could be worth $1 billion, okay? And if it is, we'll do the drawing, the Mega Millions drawing here live on the show tomorrow night. It's at 8 p.m. And anybody who makes a comment in our live chat during tomorrow night's live show, if our lottery ticket wins the big prize, you get $10,000. And you get $10,000, and you get $10,000. Everybody gets $10,000 that leaves a comment in the chat tomorrow night if our lottery ticket wins the big prize. That's pretty cool, right? I think it's a good idea. All right, so thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, same time. 7 p.m. Pacific, same Mox time, same Mox channel. Until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool till then.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on to Tune in and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.